to the spot where the mics are hot. Every word we drop got flow like a shot. Got stories to tell and jokes that hit hard. Come join the fun, it's a brand new yard. We bring the vibes, the beats won't stop. Tune in now, we rise to the top. Laugh, cry, shout, feel every drop. This podcast here is cream of the crop.
All right, let's go. All right, what's up, guys? We're going to another episode to the R to the J podcast. And if you like what we're doing over here, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. It sure helps the channel grow. And what we're going to do right now, we're going to talk to Jesse right now. And Jesse is an old friend of mine. Then we're going to talk about working in a refinery. How you doing, Jesse?
Good. How you been, man?
Pretty good, man.
First, I want to say, man, I'm real happy about your podcast, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. I'm real happy about your podcast and just excited to be here, actually.
I appreciate it. I know we always, like I said, we always see each other at Dylan.
Yeah.
That's the spot to go for us, you know.
Don't tell everybody that, brother.
Yeah. I like it because, I mean, shit, I just want to go over there. Just give me a tall Michelob Ultra. That's it.
You know what? That's a good reason. I've heard different kinds of reasons. Some, I want to meet girls. I want to meet this. But the reason I've gone to Dylan's, and not just Dylan's, other places here in Port Arthur, just seeing old faces that bring, I guess, joy to you. Because I've got friends that I had in high school, middle school, that they're not here today. And just to see, I don't know if I can name people on here, but
yeah, you can.
Just to see, like, example, Jim Bell.
Oh, yeah.
Just to see people like that that you went to school with. You know, you kind of feel, I'm not going to say homie, but just you feel, hey, man, he's good. He's doing good. He's here. Beting, you know, people like that I've known for years. And you see them now, it's exciting for me. It's good for me.
Yeah.
You know, they're doing good.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying. You know?
Yeah, I forgot to ask this to Michaela because but are you like from Port Arthur, born and raised?
I was born in Galveston, but just raised all my life in Port Arthur. So you can say I'm a island boy.
Island boy.
I'm messing. But yeah, all my life in Port Arthur. So all I know is Port Arthur. Of course, Beaumont, Groves, Nederland, Port Neches. But all my life here. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I know that we talked when we were at Dylan's, and
Mm-hmm.
you probably wanted to come on the podcast. And why did you want to come on?
Well, when you had told me about it the first time that about your podcast, or when I had found out about it, like I said, it's something that I didn't know, and it was interesting to me because there's people that I've seen in school and now are doing different things. Some are doing good things and some are doing bad things. So I believe that if people are doing positive, why not be part of that, even in the more significant way possible? That's fine. But just be part of whatever they got going on. Maybe you can support them in whatever they got going on. Maybe they don't need you, but at the end of the day, if you can show some kind of positiveness to that, I believe, go for it, you know?
Yeah, it always helps out when, people just offer you open to come on, and, you know what I mean? So I really appreciate you coming on, you know?
Well, besides that, I wanted to get closer to you.
We're rubbing knees over here, right? Don't get jealous, all right, Michaela? I'm going to take your man.
No one can take me.
No.
But yeah, so I wanted to bring you up because I know you worked out there in refineries and stuff
Yes,
like that.
sir.
So I guess maybe you could kind of enlighten some of the young gentlemen here if they
Yeah.
want to go into that field.
So I'll have a story with that, dealing with my son's friends. They're around 19, 20 years old, 21.
Is your son 19?
My son is 19.
Okay, just one, two?
One.
Okay.
I have one son, 19, Jesse. Everybody knows him as Tito. I have my daughter, Isabel, but that we call her Belle. She's going to school, I think 6 years nursing. She just graduated or got her white coat. I hope I'm saying it right, baby. If I'm not, I'm sorry. But so I'm proud of my kids. You know, I mean, they're doing better than what I did. And when I say that, it's
that's good though. You know what I mean? You especially as a father, you want your kids to be better than you.
Exactly. So when I first started off in the refineries, I had no choice. I got married at a young age. If you know me, I'm from Port Arthur, you know my wife, so it doesn't matter if I name her. I was I met my wife all middle school, knew her in middle school, had classes with her, high school, dropped out at 10th grade. So when I left school, I had no choice but to go find a job. My mom and dad were like, hey, man, you can't just stay here and live for free. You got to put something in. Cassoulet, dishwashing. I didn't have the best jobs. So I'm going to kind of skip forward, just a couple.
Yeah.
So I met my wife, ex-wife, Olivia, at a bowling alley. I knew her from school, but when I met her years later, it was like I said, something about it. Maybe it's just me meeting people that you knew in the past gives me comfort, that they're doing good or okay. Well, we met, and then from there, well, 2 kids later, we got married, and so we did what we could with our kids the best. And like I said, there's nothing to hide. I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all know my ex-wife, y'all know me, y'all know my kids. So, but what made me start in the refinery is I dropped out of school. I had to get a job. My wife was pregnant at the time, so I went into the insulation business with a company called Protherm, old company. I don't think it exists anymore. I started as a helper, worked my way up to a insulator, to a metal man, lead man, foreman.
The insulator is
Super-
pretty much is what it is. Called,
Yeah.
right? Insulating,
So-
insulating pipes or insulating
So
like walls.
we insulate piping, flanges, valves, exchangers, towers, drums, anything that has or conduces heat. We conserve it, or we do what you call PPE, personal protective, to protect people from getting burned.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10 is just to conserve the heat. So a lot of friends of mine, females and males that work in the plant, y'all know what I'm talking about. So our job is not that special, but I still put it on a pedestal for me because it's what fed my family. So, so I look at it as like a good job, not the best job, but if I could do something better, I would have. But at that moment, I had no
Yeah,
degree.
I mean,
in nothing,
yeah, as a young man, you know, I mean, you
Yep.
have to work, you have to start somewhere, pretty much.
Yes. And so if y'all don't really know me as much as Jesse, I go by Crema. A lot of people call me Crema. And then it's not for their reasons. If females are here listening,
Yeah.
it's not for that reason.
Well, all the guys probably think, we think we know where that name came from. He must
No.
have a lot of crema on it.
No, that's not the reason. But I've had people or females come and tell me or curious about why. And then when I tell them, they're like, oh, really? Well, we thought it was something else. But,
Yeah.
So the reason they call me Crema, back when I was younger, I wanted to learn the trade of insulation. I would see the older guys do it, metal work and all that, and I wanted to be that. I wanted to, you know what? I want to be just like that guy. I want to be good. But at a young age, you can only do so much, capture so much, learn so much in a certain period of time. There was this guy I was working with. His name was Martin Leon, older man. We were partnered up with him. At that moment, I had already been like maybe a year and a half in the plants. And they put me to metal this valve. So I'm metaling the valve, whatnot. It's almost lunchtime. Our foreman gets there. He's like, hey, guys, it's time for us to go. Lunchtime. The older guy, he's been doing this business for a long time. So he doesn't really care how the job gets done. As long as it gets done, he's ready to go to lunch. Me, a 19, 20-year-old guy, I want my job to look good. So I get some silicone caulking gun, and I put in caulking around all the crevices of the metal. I'm taking my time, and I'm kind of licking everything and cleaning it up. And the guy gets kind of mad. He's like, hey, hurry up. He told me in Spanish, so it'll sound better when I say it in Spanish.
Yeah.
He goes, hey, cremoso, ya deja esto, vámonos al lonche. So what he said is, hey, dude, stop putting too much icing on the cake and let's go. Pretty much what he told me. At that, when he's telling me this, a guy named Nestor, y'all might know, y'all might not. He's passing by. He hears this guy calls me cremoso or crema, you know. I don't really know him too good, but anyway, so it's kind of like he hears this guy and takes off, whatever. So a year later, hurricane hits. I'm not sure what hurricane it was, but we all had to leave out of Southeast Texas. We come back to Southeast Texas maybe 2 weeks later. There's a big shutdown going down at Monday in Orange for Invista. I get there, so I'm kind of fast forwarding everything for y'all. So where this name came to be about. So I get there, I'm walking in with my bucket, and that's all my tools are in there. I see this guy Nestor with a group of guys around my age. I'm walking there, and he's like, he waves his hand. He's like, hey, what's up, ¿Qué onda, crema? And I keep walking. I look back, and there's no one behind me. So I'm like,
Is he talking to
is
me?
he talking to me or? And I really took it like that. So as I get closer to this crowd, he like, hey, ¿Qué onda, crema? ¿Cómo estás? And I was gonna tell him something there, but there was 4 or 5 guys around, so I didn't want to look like an asshole. So I kind of went with it, like, oh, I'm doing good, you know. I shook his hand, shook everybody else's hand, and he's like, hey man, you looking for the safety guy? I said, yeah. He go turn in your hiring slip in the office. I said, okay, thank you. So I kind of walk off, but at the same time, I'm thinking this guy confused me with somebody. Oh well, it happens, I guess. So we get there, I turn in the slip, whatever. We get to work. I'm stuck working with these guys on a tower. So the whole day they're telling me, get him out past the band, get him out past metal, get him out past this material. And at this point, I'm getting irritated because that's not my name. So I don't say nothing, but I'm like, when I catch this guy, I'm going to tell him something, you know. Not so much as fighting, but just to, you know, hey, my name's not Crema, you know. So we get down for lunch, about 11:30, 12. And I'm walking to lunch, and I see him washing his hands in where they wash your hand, employees wash their hands at. And I'm like, hold up, this is where I'm going to catch him. He's by himself. So I get there, and I'm like, hey, bro, you mind if I ask you something? He's like, yeah, what's up? Why do you call me Crema? He's like, oh, I thought that was your name. I said, man, my name is Jesse. He's like, well, a while back I met you at Huntsman, and they had an older guy, and I heard him call you Crema Cremoso, so I figured that was your name. I said, no, man, that's not my name at all, man. That's what he was clowning me, man. That's not my name. He's like, oh, man, I'm sorry about that, man. Jesse, I said, yes, Jesse. So we ended up going to lunch together. We had a perfect, we connected good. We became friends, closer friends. So I leave the tent happy. We ate lunch, whatever. Went to go wash my hands, put my tools back on, go back on the tower. I'm up there, I'm feeling positive and good. So as soon as I get there, the first person, not him no more, the next guy, hey, get him up past the bed. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, at this point, like, you know what? I'm young. I get home. You know, we leave work. I get home. I go straight to talk to my dad, like most sons or daughters do. They talk to their parents about any problems or situations. So I get to my house and like, Dad, can I talk to you? He's like, what's up? I said, there's these guys at work and they keep calling me a name that it's not my name. And my dad told me, if you tell them not to do it, they're going to keep doing it. So just don't say nothing. 20-something years later, it's stuck, bro. So it's Crema, man, from now on. It's Crema.
But
so.
you adopted it, too.
I adopted it, yeah.
You know
so when people just kept calling me Crema, and I just kind of like, you know what? If I can't beat them, I'm going to join them.
Well, now we know the whole story, guys. It's not for other type of Crema.
Yeah, it's not that kind of.
We got nasty-minded people out there. But yeah, so you say you had to work yourself up in the industry, right? In the refineries and stuff like that. And so what do you do like right now?
So right now I'm in the projects division for Zachary. I do a lot of bidding for him over paint, insulation, and fireproofing.
You over there in the new Golden Pass?
No, I'm actually at the Port Arthur BASF.
Part of the BS. Okay.
Yeah, it's on 366, and it's next to Total.
Okay.
It's a smaller plant.
Oh yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah.
And I'll be there 8 years in July this year, so I've been there quite a bit now. I just started out, like I said, from a helper to an insulator to a middleman, lead man, then a foreman. Now I'm a supervisor for projects. So, and I end up going back to school to get my GED. My ex-sister-in-laws, Robbie and Roxana Cardenas or Colin, they actually told me, hey, you know what? There's a spot open for you. Do you want to try? You're going to go through 3 or 4 interviews. I'm like, yeah, I'll go. My wife at the time told them, hey, he doesn't have his diploma or no school, nothing like that. They're like, oh, you don't? I'm like, no. Well, you got to go get your GED. I'm like, oh. So I know some guy, probably know Samuel Cadena.
Samuel Cadena.
Well, he's old childhood friend too. I ended up telling him about it. I said, you know what, brother, I'm not going to be able to do it. So if you want to get the opportunity, go ahead. And he's been doing that now. He's an operator now for Valero.
Oh, okay.
So he's doing good. So I started off doing that. I got my education. I got my GED. I'm not saying don't get your education. You need it. I've never needed it, but
yeah,
it just works different.
Well, it's kind of weird that, I mean, I don't know why would you need your GED if you're a capable person, you know, if it's, you know, just really common sense, not common sense, but just skill wise, you don't need it. I don't see where you would need like a GED or, you know.
Yeah, I understand because we're more hands on with tools, heavy equipment, mechanical, and as far as I think education, I could be wrong. It's just my opinion. Maybe you need schooling for more like lawyers, architecture,
engineers,
something engineering.
When you go to college and stuff like that, yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe that.
Yeah, and that's what I told my son. If you're gonna go to college, the only ones I want you to go for is like engineering, lawyer, CPA, like accounting and stuff like that.
CPA, yeah.
And doctor, I would say that already. Just those type of fields that you know you're gonna make some money. I told him I don't want you to go for some literature, arts, English, something.
Yeah.
This is gonna become almost a waste of money right there.
Exactly. So with that being said, I know a lot of guys around my age or younger or older. that chose that life not by choice. It was at the moment is what you were dealt in life. You know, you couldn't. It was what we were dealt. So we chose. Or we didn't choose it. We had to pick that, and we did our best we could. You know, I know guys that have started like what I did with no education, and our GFs, our superintendents are running their companies. And I'm not saying don't go get educated. Hey, go to school, go to college. But if you do not get to finish that or whatnot, whatever you set your mind to, do it. You know, and you're only gonna go as far as you want to go.
And then also too, if you don't know what you want to go, at least take your basics. Then, if you know you're gonna want to go to college, you can go ahead and start with your basics at least, and get that out of the way. So that way, when you are ready to figure out a major you want to go, you kind of know. Because that's one thing I told my son. I was like, don't go to college right now unless when you're ready, you know what you want to go.
What you want to do?
Because you don't want to go for something. Let's say for being a doctor, and then you want to change it to be an engineer. You know, you're gonna have to start over pretty much.
Or you started something, educated yourself on things you really didn't need, or what you needed for it. Like if you want to go for a doctor, you're not gonna go study engineering. If you want, you know what I mean. So I kind of understand. You got to know what you want to be, and then go study for it. Right? That's pretty much what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much. And also too is like in my case, I was painting cars for 17 years, and luckily with the job I had, they're really helpful with my schedule. And they're like, sometimes I'll go to either my schedule will be go to work, school, or sometimes school, work. So, and sometimes for a while there I had 2 jobs, so I was working at Castellet again as a waiter. But I had a great time being a waiter over there. You know how that is.
One thing I can say about you, man, every time I've met you, and I've met you a long time ago, whatever, you always had, excuse my French, your shit together, brother. And I know it has to do with you as a person. You give it, you go as far as you can with what you got and what you're dealt with. I'm sorry, how old is your kid? I didn't know you.
He's about to turn 21 in May.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
That's awesome, man. So I also have a kid, Jesse Tito. He's 19.
Yeah.
He looks at me and he looks at me like a father, like a son looks at his father, a Superman. You know what? My dad got this, my dad got that. But I tell my son, hey, you can be better, you can do better. I don't want my son doing what I do. Yes, I have a comfortable life. I make okay, money. But me and you as a father, we want more for them. We want them to have more, be more, have more. And I tell that to all his friends. Your son's 21.
Yeah.
Mine's is 19. So when I'm going off, he thinks my job is the best job in the world. And it makes me proud, but at the same time, I kind of open his eyes up and like, hey, son, there's better job. Your aunts are operators, that's a better job, greater. Oh, no, Dad, I want to do what you do, and I want to have what you have. And I said, well, it takes time. It doesn't just one day to another, you work here, and a week later you have that. No.
Yeah. So when I was painting cars, the thing I didn't like about that was that we're commission based. So commission based pretty much for the industry is if we get paid for how many cars we painted. And if during the holidays, if we didn't have enough cars, we would have to use vacation days just to cover
your own vacation time and personal time to cover your check.
Yeah,
or for that month,
Yeah.
Damn,
So I got tired of that, and also, during summertime, it'll get kind of really hot because we're inside a building and we're painting booth. And then sometimes you have to heat up those booths, and those booths went up to like 275 degrees. And it will just stay constantly hot, but it's not as bad like compared to people who's working out there in refineries with the PPE, all that stuff. Because man, that's one thing I hate. I hate wearing. I don't mind sweating, but I hate sweating then having long sleeve shirts or sticking onto you. I was like, it just drives me crazy.
So I had a question for you. Earlier I had said I prefer my kid not to go through what I went through. I want it better for him. But you kind of hit a good topic saying, hey, I won't mind my son or my kid struggling a little bit. And I kind of understand what you're saying. I wouldn't want that either. I wanted to kind of know how life is. It's not easy. But I'll let you elaborate on what you were trying to explain to me as far as you don't want to give it to your son that easy.
Yeah. You want to have them go through a little hard time just to make it more tougher. You know what I mean? But the whole saying about strong times make weak man, and weak man create strong times or hard times, something like that. So I think just in order to be man, you have to go through some hard times sometimes, ups and downs.
Yep.
That's how life is in
That's
reality.
true. I guess our 80s babies, 90s babies, we had it harder as far as because our parents could only give us what they could and not what they wanted. Now, in this day and age, I'll speak for me and a couple of my friends that were married around the same years I was married. We gave our kids what we wanted, not what they needed. So I'll kind of go over. Both of my kids went to PNG. Both of them know about cheerleading, know about football, and everything they needed, they had. Me, I will have pants, 2 pants the whole week.
Yeah.
My kid and daughter, they'll have separate clothes all week for weeks and weeks and weeks. We didn't know about that, hey, Christmas shopping or school shopping. I didn't have that. I had to share clothes with my brother. So our parents gave us
What they could, pretty
what
much.
they could.
Yeah.
And nowadays we give our kids what they want.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of babying them a little bit more. But like you said, it's better for them kind of like to make them work for it. They got to, know life is not fair. It's not always going to be easy, So,
Yeah, you can't, expect everything. It's gonna come out easy to you, just because we have it fortunate because I don't know it was your backstory, but we came from El Salvador.
Okay.
And I was like 6, 7 years old when I came to the States and we first moved to San Francisco. So that's why I like the Niners.
Yeah. Go Niners.
Yeah, I was actually there when they won a couple Super Bowls.
Oh, wow.
So that's why I'm a hardcore, especially Joe Montana, Jerry Rice.
There's a reason why I love you, brother.
Yeah, and I haven't been there for a few years, but I still love that city.
Yeah. So as far as my son, like we were talking about him, he tells me that I want to do what you do, but I kind of sit down, and then not just him. I'll get a shout out to his friends. They got Isaiah. I don't know if you know Tammy's son. He just had an incident in Houston with the bullet in his head.
Okay, I think I heard about that.
So I really got the time to take. I'm sorry I do it on your
Go ahead,
podcast.
go ahead.
I appreciate y'all supporting and helping Tammy out and Isaiah, and they're thankful from the bottom of their hearts. Y'all might know my Yaya, but thank y'all for that. So back to what we're talking about. So my son tells me, "Hey, Dad, I want to do what you do," and every time me and his friends sit outside, I'll talk to him. I say, you know what? If y'all can do better, do better. Don't just I want to be a scaffold builder. I'm not knocking the scaffold builders or insulation or paint. Go for it. But if you could do something better, do it. Welding. If you could do better than welder, do it. I know most of these kids are going off of what their parents do or are doing. Hey, I'm with that. But if you can be better, do better.
Because as a father, you want your kids to do better, especially your sons. I want my son to be a way better father than I was, and a better person and everything.
In general,
just as a man, that's what you want for your kids.
And so I'll talk to Austin, aka Firme, Sebastian. These guys are my son's friends, and I see them almost every weekend. We'll talk. Not just about going out or what kind of cars they want to drive, but as a father, I kind of tell them, hey, you know what are y'all doing later? Oh, what are y'all plans are? Oh, we want to go make some money. Okay, but how do you want to make money? And then we'll start a conversation with that, like, oh, we want to do this, do that. Sometimes you gotta educate yourself to do better, to have more. But life goes on.
Yeah. So you got any crazy stories that you could share from the out there?
Like what? Like what? What do you?
I don't know. Like any crazy stories that you've seen out there, like out in the field?
Well, I can tell you incident that happened to me.
Yeah.
So working for Zachary 6 years ago, I started as a worker there. We started. Anytime you go to any other plant or any other company, you don't just get hired as a supervisor. They kind of put you on probation. They probably see what you got. If you are foreman or supervisor material. If not, they'll leave you as a worker. So anyways, I started working at this plant, BASF in Port Arthur. I was kind of, at that moment, I was still younger, 8 years ago or 7 years ago. I thought I was cool, I would wear my safety glasses. I wear them like that, thinking I was cool. Safety glasses are there for a reason, But at that moment, nothing had happened to me from when I started when I was 20 to when I got there when I was, 32, I want to say 33. So between those years, I thought I didn't need no PPE. Our reflection when we used to go play football with Jim and all them, we're the fastest, we're the biggest, no one can stop us. So nothing had ever happened to me in the plants. I always felt strong. I felt like I got good conditioning, you know. So we're out there working. My boss at the time, Franco, he's like, hey man, put your glasses on. Hey man, put your gloves on. Hey, you're gonna go over there, put your harness on. And in my mind, like, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna put it on because I don't want to get rolled up, you know. This particular day, it was January or December. It was cold. I remember it was cold, and I'm on my knees insulating a 3/4 inch line. I'm with another guy, and we're cutting up. But my glasses are not on my face; they're actually hanging. And I look up and I see Franco passing, my supervisor. And the first thing I say, like, fuck, look at this guy, man. Let me put my glasses on because he's gonna tell me something, and I don't want to hear him. So I put the glasses on and I keep working. Right when he passes by, I kind of think to myself, he's gonna walk off, and then I'm gonna just go take my stuff back off. At that moment, the 3/4 inch blind opens up because some open up automatically and some open up physically. You have to open them. This was open from the control room, so it opened up. 50% water, 50% caustic.
Caustic?
Hit the concrete. The nipple's facing down and hit the concrete, and it splashed up to my face. When it splashed up to my face, the first thing I did was kind of turn around, and I felt like someone threw a jar of jalapeno juice on me. It burned, but not that intense. It just felt hot. It felt like a sting. I didn't want to open my eyes because I couldn't see nothing. I said, if I open my eyes, I'm thinking the worst, you know. So I get up. I don't know where to go. So all that invincibility I thought I had, out the door. I don't know where to run. I can't see. I might be strong and I can do this, but where am I going?
Yeah.
So I call out for the guy next to me, Martin. I'm like, Martin, take me to the safety shower. He goes, what's wrong? I said, man, I can't see, like it burns, you know? He grabs me from my hand like a toddler, and he walks me to the safety shower. I get there, and they're rinsing me off. Hard head, sorry for I'm rinsing my face. They have like soap there, so you put soap on. Once you turn that safety shower on, it sets an alarm to the operators, so they get there. Ambulance, operators, coordinators.
Oh, wow.
They all get there. I don't know who's there, but I hear a lot of people. And I can't open my eyes, it's still burning. So I hear a lady, and now I know it was a safety coordinator for BASF. She's like, hey, what burns? I said, well, ma'am, my whole pouch is burning because I have my tools on. The pouch is leather, so leather sucks up water, chemicals, whatever.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to take off your pouch. So, ma'am, I can't even see. So the guy, Martin, he reaches and starts taking off my pouch. I'm like, hey, bro, like, hey, come on, man, you know. So he takes off the pouch.
You got paid to play, man.
Hey, bro, chill, that's not it. Well, he ended up taking my pouch off. The lady's like, what else? I said, well, it splashed my shoulder. She was, take your shirt off. And then, what else? I said, my mustard shirt. I take my mustard shirt off. And then she's like, what else burns? I said, well, the side of my hip where it splashed, it also burns. She goes, well, go ahead and take your pants off and make sure you put soap around that area. So I'm practically in my underwears. And she's like, what else burns? I said, no, nothing else burns. I'm still burning, but I'm not going to take my underwears off, you know. So I'm still rinsing for like 15, 20 minutes. I hear the ambulance. Let's get there. And at this moment, I never pictured myself waking up and this happening to me. Now I can laugh about it. But at that moment when it's going on, all that invincibility I thought I had, all the conditioning, all the strength, out the window. And I get in an ambulance. They take me to medical center. The doctors shave part of my head, give me some kind of lotion and cream me up. I get blisters on top of my head, on my lip, around my eyes, but not on my eyes. So all that stuff that guy was telling me, Franco, about my safety, it was for a reason, you know? So I think now, if I wouldn't have had those glasses on, I'm not saying I would have been blind, but it would have burned my eyelids. It would have burned.
It'd been a chance, though.
It'd been a chance.
Yeah.
And so it takes something for you something to happen to you, for you to kind of look at it differently. So now I see these young guys that think they're cool walking in and start stuff, no glasses, and I wear what I want to wear. And I tell them my story. I say, hey man, I was there where you were. I didn't care. I was like, hey, nothing could happen to me. But it took that to happen to me for me to kind of realize, hey, you know what? There's nothing wrong with needing help or following the rules, you know? Yeah. And so from now, I tell everybody, hey, put your glasses on.
Yeah.
I'm that asshole now.
You're Franco.
Yeah,
now.
I'm Franco. I'm the asshole. Hey, put your glasses on. Put your gloves on. Don't do this. Don't do that. And I mean, it's sorry to say, it took that to happen to me.
Yeah.
for me to change my perspective.
Well, luckily you put it on. It just timely,
Yep.
you know what I mean?
And now I can't take my glasses off. You'll see me everywhere with glasses.
Yeah. And being caustic, if people don't know, that's very, it could really mess you up right there.
And
which I'm surprised. I thought, like when I work at CPC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chevron Phillips in Port Arthur, right? And they had some caustic pumps there that literally you're supposed to not even be there, even without no goggles.
Goggles, exactly. Yep. At that area we were at, nothing was supposed to come out those drains. So that's why we were working in there.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say too much, but I'm not gonna say whose fault it was, but they weren't supposed to open those valves up until we were finished because there wasn't a marked off area for caustic. What ran through it was caustic, but nothing was supposed to come out of those beads.
Oh, gotcha.
So when it happened, it was a whole different issue.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
but logically you're supposed to wear goggles around chemicals like that. But
Yeah. Guys, if you go work over in plant and gals, wear your PPEs, all right?
definitely. You ever worked at a plant or?
Yeah, well, I'm not physically working there. I mean, where I work there, but I'm not there actually working in, like, physically working there. I'm an engineer, so I'm just there.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry, but let me move over a seat.
No, but I have a highly respect for all the people working there, especially, like I said, especially when it gets really hot.
Oh, man, bro.
Sweating. I was like, man, when I go out there and walk for, like, let's say 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I'm drenched up, and I was like, man, I kind of feel for the people working out there.
Yep.
Then I gotta go back in the office and then freeze my ass off in there because they have the fucking AC blasting high in there. So I don't know what's worse, is freezing inside the office or
I
sweating my
think
ass
I've
off.
had a little bit of both worse, being outside and working, and then now that I'm in the projects division with the supervision, I do office work, which I would have thought is easier or whatever, more better for us, but mentally it is stressful on your head. You gotta make sure your numbers are right, the bids numbers are right, make sure the correct information you're giving the client is correct. Instead of just, hey, you know what, out here in the field, I just had to move material and stage it here.
Yeah.
That's physical work. I can do that. And sometimes mental work it's sometimes more stressful, you know?
Yeah.
But again, it's just my opinion. You
No,
know?
the same here because sometimes I get bored just if I have to stay in the office for a while. But I just sometimes have to submit drawings or have to look at drawings. There's just various things I need to do office wise, and I'm more like hands on. Like I said, I used to work on cars all the time. I do little projects around the house. So I'm always staying busy, you know. Just staying inside the office. Sometimes I get bored. Sometimes.
You got a lot to think about then.
Yeah, a lot.
That's good.
Yeah. So, what do you see yourself in like in 5 years?
Well, you know, in 5 years I'll be 60, brother. Nah.
Damn, you look good then.
Nah, I'm playing, brother. Nah.
Hey, well, hopefully you look like you do
Really?
right now when you turn
I hope
60.
so,
yeah.
man. Botox, brother. Botox. Nah. No, I want to open. I'm kind of planning opening a business. I know I don't want to say too much, but I look at myself opening something.
Okay.
Here in Port Arthur, local, you know.
Yeah. And when you do, just come back here and you promote it.
Oh, definitely. We'll promote you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I see myself. Not even 5 years, maybe sooner than that. Hopefully, if the good man upstairs allows it, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. Yes, sir.
Yeah, but if you need any help or anything, just let me know.
Oh yeah, definitely will.
Yeah. And you got any last words for the audience before we head out?
Do the best you can in anything you put your mind to. Friends you had before or now, check on them. It doesn't hurt. Phone call. Like I said, I love seeing faces from the past doing good. Even if they're doing bad, you're there and just give a word of advice or anything, you know. You know where I'm at. Phone number, Rogan will have it. And I've always represented Port Arthur. I stay right down 31st Street, the Ridge, or Pier Ridge. So if anything, I love y'all and thank you for having me.
I appreciate you coming. All right, guys. Hopefully you liked this episode. Jesse dropped a lot of knowledge over here about working out in the plants and stuff like that, and things what to do. Like wear your glasses, your PPEs. All right, guys. That's very important. You know what I mean? Safety is. You know what I mean? You want to go back to your wife or your kids or whoever. You know, that's always important. All right, guys. Go ahead and remember like, comment, subscribe. Sure helps the show grow. All right, peace out.
Breaking news or cool interviews. We keep it real, no scripted cues. From wild debates to tight, this train never derails. We bring the vibes, the beats won't stop. Tune in now, we rise to the top. Laugh, cry, shout, feel every drop. This podcast here is cream.